Hey, you guys, it's Megan from Create Your Future. I'm a mindset coach here. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, check out this description link below, as well as some self-paced courses. So today I have a success story I'm going to share with you guys, as well as something from my own life. And we're going to talk today about setting boundaries. Okay. And can you set boundaries? It's okay to set boundaries. Can you react in your 3D reality if something shows up that you don't like? Okay, I'm going to answer those questions. And I'm going to tell you the short answer is yes. Number one, it is vital and important to create boundaries, okay? You are in charge of your reality. You get to set the rules, okay? So you want to take people off the pedestal and stop letting them create the rules. So if somebody's showing you something back in your 3D that you don't like, remember that 3D is just a mirror, okay? It's reflecting everything from our previous thoughts, okay? It's just an old manifestation. It's a consequence based on our previous thoughts. Now we assign meaning to that consequence if it's good or bad. Okay, and that is, what takes the focus and diligence. So if something's showing up in your 3D that you don't like, and let's say somebody is not communicating to you, or they're like friends with benefits, or they're being rude to you, or they're not showing up in any way that you don't like, an area to start looking at is, and if you're reacting and feeling uncomfortable, it's usually because your boundaries are being overcrossed. Okay, so I hear people, a lot of clients say, oh, I reacted, I blew it. Okay, so first of all, let's start with that. You didn't blow anything. You didn't ruin anything. You're the God of your reality. You make the rules. So if you think you blew it, the only person saying that is you, because you're dictating it, because your thoughts create. Okay, so you are the only one saying that you blew it, all right, or you ruined it, because everybody's you pushed out. All right, so first of all, if you are reacting and you're thinking you're reacting negatively, don't spiral out of control and dwell on that and blame yourself and beat yourself up for having a human reaction. Okay, and sometimes when we have something uncomfortable happen in our reality, sorry, my cat wants to be up here. If we have something that we feel like sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes it's a really good place for us to look when we're feeling upset or feeling, like someone disrespected us. Yes, we did create it, but sometimes it's really, really good to pay attention to that, because that means that somebody could be overstepping our boundaries. Okay, so if you're getting angry, you're getting upset, it's an area to sit back and reflect if that's happening in your 3D, and kind of ask yourself what is happening, and usually it could be, like I said, that someone's overstepping a boundary that we have. And we haven't been taught, a lot of people have not been taught about what healthy boundaries are. Okay, so taking some time, and I help clients do that, take some time and figure out, what are your boundaries, what are your non-negotiables. You have to take a stand inside yourself for that, and everybody's you pushed out. So people are only going to, what does that mean? People are only mirroring, reflecting what you have internally going on. And usually we react and think people are doing something to us, okay? But it's actually because we have it going on internally. All right, so again, let me explain this. Somebody does something to you, you feel uncomfortable, you react. It's only happening because it's something alive inside of you. Now, what do you do when this happens? Again, is if you feel angry or upset, maybe you can't do it in the moment, but afterwards, take a second and remind yourself, everybody's me pushed out. I'm creating this, okay? And then take a look at why you feel uncomfortable. What are your boundaries? Be very clear on that. All right, because you're not a pushover, okay? That's not what this is about. You're not about being a pushover. When we're feeling uncomfortable, it's usually because somebody might be overstepping our boundaries. So becoming very, very clear on that, because everybody, again, is just mirroring that. And once you become clear on it, you can start setting the intentions for the person to always treat you with respect, to always show up a certain way, and see yourself as someone who's worthy of that, and started making those affirmations. So I've made many videos about, you don't have to believe in your affirmations. You don't have to believe in your inner conversations. You don't even have to believe these things are going to happen. The thing is you want to start, this is taking focus of what's happening, and then it is redirecting your thoughts into what you want to create. Okay, so I did a video not too long ago, but I'm going to use this as an example, again, for my own life, and then I have a client success story. So I intend that this helps you guys out. So let's say that somebody is showing up disrespectful, and someone was showing up, if people were showing up disrespectful in my reality. Well, in the past, before I started, learning about my voice and learning my boundaries, it was very uncomfortable for me to say that to somebody. Hey, you're being disrespectful to me. Number one, I thought I was going to ruin my manifestation. Number two, I was very uncomfortable of being assertive. So I had to work internally on that. So when those feelings would arise, I would have to, really feel like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Someone's overstepping my boundary. I can say what I want to say. I'm allowed to say what I want to say. I'm allowed to be heard. Everybody hears me. Everybody listens to me in my reality. I deserve respect. I am worthy of respect. Everybody treats me with respect. I intend everybody in my reality treats me with respect and respects my boundaries. Okay. Let's say you don't want to talk about something, okay? Same thing. Or someone showing up late. Whatever's going on in your reality that should be being reflected back in your 3D is just a reflection of because you show people how to treat you, okay? So you need to take a step back. If someone's showing up in your reality and they're being disrespectful, you need to as soon as that feeling come in, don't ignore it, don't repress it, identify it, okay? Realize it. Ask yourself, is this person overstepping my boundaries? And if so, it's a good thing to start looking at what your boundaries are. What are your non-negotiables? And start seeing yourself as someone who's worthy to have boundaries, okay? That you're worth it, that you are able to have what you want in your reality. People aren't going to leave you if you stick up for yourself. People like the fact that you're assertive, okay? You have to go inside yourself make that intention for yourself, and then intend that people are going to do that in your reality as well, because everybody is you pushed out. So when I say you're teaching people how to treat you, it's because you internally have to see that you're worth this, okay? And people are going to reflect it back. So if you have a limiting belief, if I speak my mind or if I'm assertive, people leave me or I'm not lovable, people are only going to mirror that limiting belief. Okay, so that's what I'm here for. That's what one-on-one coaching is I can identify where your thought process is going with that. Okay, if you need that help, maybe you don't. Maybe this video is going to help a million people figure out that they need to set boundaries, which I intend that to be the case. Okay, but if you are having trouble identifying those limiting beliefs or where you might be on autopilot, that's what one-on-one coaching is for. But anyway, again, you guys can establish the boundaries, but you first of all have to know what your boundaries are, and then not have the self-fulfilling thought process that people will leave me if I do A, B, and C. Okay, no, because again, you're perfect, whole, and complete, and people are going to leave you only if you say people are going to leave you. Okay, so that's where your thoughts start coming in. And I know I've made many videos about being people pleasing, so I kind of want to do a different video about having boundaries, okay, and creating those boundaries for yourself that are healthy, okay, and being okay with that. Now, especially if you come from toxic relationships or some sort of real life trauma, this might be very foreign for you at first, okay? And again, that is okay. That's why, saying your affirmations a lot, doing the inner conversations, being diligent, and that repetition of those sort of affirmations can really, really, really help people who've been through some very traumatic experiences, okay? Because you're retraining your brain, you're reprogramming it, you're rewiring it, okay? And anything as a habit takes repetition. Again, that's what coaching can be for as well, someone to help you in those times when you are spiraling out of control as well, as this is a new way of thinking, especially if you're not somebody, and I know I used to not be that way. I had to find my voice. I was afraid to speak my truth. I was afraid to be authentic to myself. I was afraid to set those boundaries. So I'm coming from real life experience to tell you, I'm not just sitting here giving you guys some jargon of something that I read on the internet or something like that. No, this is real life, you guys. I used to be someone who was so shy, so quiet, was so afraid to speak their mind, so afraid that people were not going to like me if I did this and that. Okay. But how did I change that? It's just what I told you guys. I figured out what my non-negotiables were. I figured out what my boundaries were. And then anytime I had these uncomfortable feelings arise, I started noticing someone might be overstepping my boundaries, and I'd have to go within and stabilize myself and make those self-concept affirmations. Okay. And do that, and then make the intentions for somebody else. So that is my personal story. And then I wanted to also share one of my client success stories with you guys in regards to this as well. So I'm going to read this. She got an apology and she changed somebody by doing all this. And also, you guys, you can do this through inner conversations, because I've said this in other videos, but normally we're arguing internally all day with somebody and we're not even aware of it. So catching yourself when you're having those conversations with somebody, like for instance, with my example, could be like, why are they overstepping my boundaries? Why are they so mean? Why are they so disrespectful? I'm respectful to everybody else. Maybe they'll leave me if I say this. Maybe people will be mad at me if I say this. Oh my gosh, why are they being so rude to me? Okay, those are examples of inner conversations. So if that's something that's going on in your head, those are inner conversations. So you can stop those and start saying, I intend that everybody, respects me. People love what I have to say. You could hear those people say that. I love everything you have to say. Oh my gosh, everything you say is awesome. I love how assertive you are. I love how confident you are, and start seeing that and hearing those things as well. Okay, so again, sorry, I got off on a tangent, but I'm going to go into the success story here. So I'm saying the success story, and I hope that inspires others. Megan taught me to always see the best in others. Okay, and that is true too, as we're setting boundaries, because if you are saying that someone's stubborn, you're not seeing the best in somebody, and we're usually projecting that sort of fear on them as well. So again, you do want to change the story about the other person as well as yourself. But first you have to go within and then start seeing that someone else is able to change, okay? Because they are just you pushed out. And they're only, when I say no one has free will, I really mean that. Nobody is acting independently. They're only reflecting what you're going on and inner here in your mind. So it is always good. Now, that does not mean to be a pushover, like I said. And to be able to see the best in someone, you have to have a very confident, well, you don't have to, but it's very important for you to set those boundaries yourself and to be confident and to be self-aware and to accept yourself exactly how you are, because if you accept how you are, everybody else is going to accept that. All right. And then you want to intend that everybody else sees the best in you as well. So back to the success story. Megan taught me always to see the best in others. A couple months ago, I had an unpleasant conversation with a client because she would get anxious about her situations and send me upsetting text messages very late hours. Okay, so you can see right there, her boundaries are being overstepped. I asked her to be respectful and only send text messages during business hours. She didn't appreciate me setting boundaries, resulting in her crying and yelling at me. Afterwards, I set an intention that she contact me and apologize for her behavior. I also intended that she would start being a lot calmer. A month or so later, my colleague who was assisting me with this client reached out to tell me that we were able to get favorable results with this client. Yay! I immediately texted the client to congratulate her on the good result that my colleague and I had got her, and thanking her for the confidence she had placed in my colleague and I. She spontaneously apologized for her past behavior. She was really calm too, just as I intended. A couple weeks later, she hired me as an additional workforce. So guess what? I got an apology, I got calm demeanor, and I got more money. Woohoo! All right, that's awesome. So see, this is how it works, you guys. You can set those boundaries. So again, this client felt uncomfortable. This person was overstepping her boundaries. We call it somewhat sucking your energy, or those type of people, I guess, in this regard. She was sucking her energy out. And first of all, the client was feeling very uncomfortable about setting her boundaries. And she was able to set her boundaries. And she was first met with the exact opposite. Okay, the person came back and was more nasty, more mean. All right, but this client did not change her boundaries. Okay, she did not set. She was firm. She knew what her boundaries were. She knew why. She had that self-respect for herself, and she set those boundaries despite what was showing up in her 3D. And even when she was met with the opposite, she still stuck to her intentions, made intentions, doubled down on those, and made intentions for the other person as well. Okay, so she had her boundaries, set her boundaries. Everybody accepts my boundaries, including this person. And guess what? It was mirrored back to her, because that's how it works. Your intentions have to come to fruition, even if you don't believe them. Okay, they have to. They might not happen immediately. Okay, but they have to come to fruition. And this is what happened. She stayed on this. She stayed on it. She had her boundaries. She set them there despite what was showing up. She kept on her boundaries, kept them firm because she didn't like was showing up, made the intentions for herself and the other person. And guess what? It was reflected back. She got her apology. She got the business. She got the calm demeanor. And she also got more money. Okay. She got all of that. And you can change how people show up in your reality. Okay. They're only mirroring what you have going on in here. And you can change that through your focus and the discipline of something showing up, okay? And you are allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed, that does not make you a mean person. You're the only person that's saying that about yourself, okay? You can still be a nice person and still have boundaries. It's important to have that. So you said it because you're teaching people how to treat you. Reality is happening not to you, it's happening through you because of your thoughts. So you're creating those inner beliefs you have about yourself. And usually that happens somewhere in our childhood that we might not be aware of. Now, I'm not saying you have to go on digging all this stuff up about that, okay? It's just that the majority of us have limiting beliefs that create these things, okay? And again, that's what one-on-one coaching is here for me to figure out, help you guys figure out maybe what's standing between you and your manifestation and your limiting beliefs there, okay? Because it's just your egoic mind, and it's there. It's your friend. It's just there to protect you. Okay, it's not meaning to harm you either. So you can have whatever you want. You can set those boundaries, and like I said, I'm living proof. I've done it in my own reality. I've got a lot of great, amazing things coming back to me, and because I've done that, as well as the client, and she has that success. And I intend for every single one of you guys to not have any of your boundaries, and to always be respected, and to have people show up in your reality exactly how you intend them to show up, because you all deserve to have that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in on the video. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Oh yeah, why don't you guys put there too, my boundaries are important, no one crosses my boundaries. My boundaries are super important. Okay, you can put that in the comments below, because they truly are, and people are just mirroring who you are. Okay, mirroring what you have going on here in your perception of yourself, other people in your reality. All right, that's what the 3D is. It's already been manifested already. And if you want to change your reality, you change your thoughts. Okay, those inner conversations, your thoughts, your focus. Okay, so anyway, I think I've done, this video has gone on and on long enough. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys lots. Have a great day. Bye-bye.